Welcome to Sports Nights with Jorge. Today we are talking Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa career and more, and now your host.
Welcome, Fins fans, and also welcome, sports fans. Welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. There'll be a topic that I'll be discussing tonight with the guy you see behind me, Tua Tagovailoa. As you know, he's entering his fifth year option. Of course, we just had mini camp, and we're waiting for a decision from Mike Greer and the Miami Dolphins to offer him a contract. So let me start with the podcast. I made this announcement, I think, on the last podcast. I'm gonna try to stay in this topic of Tua Tagovailoa. You got Tua's lover and you got Tua haters. Well, I'm one of those that love the guy. Besides the year that he had last year, which a great year in passing, led the league in passing. Uh, you gotta give him credit. What credit is due. They were saying that he was not going to play 17 games. Prediction from all these sports channels that concussion protocol, and he's been hit before, the hip injury. But I'm gonna backtrack a little bit so you guys understand who is Tua Tagovailoa. Maybe you guys heard story about him and watch videos. Okay, he is a Christian. He is a true believer in God. You know, and that's what, and I respect that from the individual. That's what he is. Very professional guy, very determination guy. But this is sports, and we get a lot of critics. But let me start by saying this: how Tua career started. Tua career, football career, began at University of Alabama. You guys know that, where he played college football from 2017 till 2019. His time in Alabama, he achieved notable success, including leading the Crimson Tides to a national championship victory in 2017. And we know who that was, the Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, he entered the game at halftime and rallied the team to victory, earning him the game's MVP honor. Tua Tagovailoa's standout performance in college marked his precision passing and poise under pressure, made him one of the uh, highest quarterback prospect in 2020 NFL draft. He declared for the draft after his junior season, and he was selected by the Miami Dolphins as a fifth round pick overall in the first round, making the biggest, making actually the beginning of his professional career in the NFL. Miami had quarterbacks in the past, and of course we know Dan Marino. So Dan Marino played with us. Ryan Tannehill. I think we have so many strings of quarterback in this league. Join Miami, but people don't want to give credit to Tua because of size, and that's one thing that came up, and the injuries that he occurred in college with the hip injury. But let me tell you something about Tua Tagovailoa in the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa NFL career has begun marked by flashes and promises of some challenges. He entered the league with the highest expectation after a success college career in Alabama. Injury has been a concern, that's what I talked earlier, but he has shown potential as a franchise quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, and still early in his career, so there's room for growth and development. So he could growth and development. He could be developed, and that's why they brought Mike McDaniel in to help Tua Tagovailoa, which I think he did. I know that he surrounded him with weapons around him when they got Tariq Hill from the Chiefs. We already had Waddle. Remember, we had Waddle and we had Devontae Parker. We also had Gasicki. People don't realize that he had a great season that year. He didn't full season, but through the injuries, through all the process that he went through. But remember, his coach was Flo. Flo was more a defensive coach than an offensive coach. I cannot, that's something it's hard to, and I don't say judge because it's not judging. It's hard to look at because you have a defensive coach, which Miami was had a good defense with Flo, But now you have a quarterback that, to be honest with you, since the draft, I think between him and Mike Greer, they wanted Herbert. We heard that rumor. We heard that happened in the draft. That's one discussion. And of course, back there we had the quarterback Fitzpatrick playing, which he played pretty well. And if it wasn't for him to open the doors and say, "Hey, man, let the kid play, give him a chance and opportunity." Remember, I tell you this in all my podcasts that football is so physical and it's getting physical. It's changing. Why is it changing? Because players are bigger, stronger, you know. But if you look at it, the history of injuries in the NFL. So let's talk about Tua injury because that's something that came up in one of the discussion when he got drafted. Tua faced some injury challenges through his football career, particularly during his University of Alabama. The most significant injury occurred in November 2019 when he suffered a dislocated hip. Okay, and it was a posterior wall fracture during the game against Mississippi State. The injury required surgery and ended his college career season permanently. We all remember that. However, Tua demonstrated resilience and determination during his recovery process. Despite concern about his health leading up to the 2020 NFL Draft, he showcased progress in rehabilitation and was ultimately selected by the Miami Dolphins in the fifth round pick. So you read this and you understand this that we took a gamble. If you want to look at it, the guy's injured. Here's what I believe when I tell everybody we have to give players opportunity to play in the league. You can't close the doors on these players, especially these young players coming out of college. Uh, Injury factor, we don't know what player we're going to get, but if you don't give him a chance. So since he joined the NFL, Tua has to manage and overcome various minor injury, and we know that about concussion. It is common for many professional athletes. However, he has shown resilience, determination, and continue to play in a high level despite these setbacks. And that is so true. Here's what somebody don't understand. Through all this thing he has fought through the injuries, his adversity, okay? And I'm gonna tell you one key word for Tua Tagovailoa: his faith. His faith because he believed in God. Now, most of you guys says, "Well, why you say that?" I never seen a quarterback with so much professionalism. If you see, he never talks bad about his player. He never talks bad about his coaches. Okay? He stayed quiet. He's so professional. You don't hear players like in the media with gossip and having issue problems. Tua is a quiet person, and he does it so professional. You know, as he continues his career, managing, preventing injury will be important factor in the long term of his success. So what's that? We need to keep him healthy. We need to keep him protected. That's why they hired Terrell Armstrong. Okay, but that's another thing. Cannot play through injuries, toe injuries, leg injuries. Turf in the NFL, guys, compared to grass, it's hurting all these players. Let's be honest. They're getting injured. Look at how many Achilles injuries we have seen in the NFL. That's important to see. Okay. Now we're going to talk about his ability, ability and mobility of it playing his position. Okay. Tua Tagovailoa also possesses good mobility as a quarterback. While he may not be the fastest or the most elusive runner, he has demonstrated ability to move in the pocket, extend plays, and pick up yards on the ground when needed. His mobility add an extra dimension to his game and allow him to evade pressure from opposing defense. Now watch this, guys. I'm gonna go back to this for a second. Tua started getting sacked and getting concussion because he had no protection up front. Okay, we all were afraid every time he run the ball and he gets hit. We all close our eyes or grinch our eyes and say, "Oh my God, what's happening next?" Okay, protection of the quarterback. That's every quarterback in this league. They need protection. But what happened to Tua? He did jujitsu. He built himself up. He got stronger. His neck got stronger. But now you got to see him. He has totally lost weight. He has changed his style. He has like three quarterbacks that's actually going through training process with him, helping him figure it out, which I like that. A guy that doesn't give up, a guy that still wants to get opportunity and growth in his field, even though he's in his fifth years. But this man has done things in 5 years, and you know what's amazing? When we compare, which I don't like comparing quarterbacks to Herbert, we had a discussion a while back about, well, Herbert's better than Tua. Well, Herbert could be better than Tua in some different. But remember, there are two different quarterbacks. That's one thing you have to understand. You got a running quarterback, pocket quarterback, scrambling quarterbacks. Left-handed, right-handed. So the comparison is kind of hard to compare. But that's what we do as a fan. That's how we look at it. But we had to look at really, really, really at what Tua does best. Okay, as Herbert does best. But Tua being in this league with less game than Herbert has a better record, winning record than Herbert. That's the sad part. Sometimes they say statistics don't count. They look good, they're numbers. What counts are the win. So let me give you a Tua IQ. Okay, Tua Tagovailoa is praised for his football IQ. He knows how his abilities read how to read defense and make quick decisions and effectively manage the game and understand the offensive scheme, and his ability to anticipate the action of opposing defense contribute to his success on the field. Okay. Additionally, he work ethics and dedication to studying films and improving his knowledge of the game have been noted by coaches and teammates alike. You know, Tariq Hill came out and says, "Man, this guy's an accurate passer. He's a great passer." And he says, and of course he mentioned, yeah, I think he's better than Mahomes. Once again, different quarterbacks, okay, arm strength and all that. Okay, so if a receiver say that about your player, about your football player, okay, or you got teammates saying that about you, there's something good in you that they see. Also, always remember, there's always improvement in the NFL. There's always improvement in the NFL. I tell everybody, listen, it doesn't matter. Every day, every year, every month, you want to whatever you want to say, it's actually it's an improvement. You improve your game level. Okay, there's only two ways you could do it. Either you make it or you don't make it. So his accuracy, okay, to accuracy is something that I talked earlier. It's amazing how he throws against the runs, against the pass. How he moves in the pocket. His ability of moving in the pocket. He is an exciting player when he plays football. He's very energetic. Uh, doesn't take criticism. Which that's a good thing too. Doesn't take criticism from anybody. Doesn't bother him. You see, he don't hear this rumor stuff. When he goes to the podium and he has his Dolphin press conference, the guy's legit. He tells you like it is. Here we are as excuse me as announcers and sports casters and popcasters, whatever you want to call, and we have to criticize the guy because one thing he's not going to let happen. He's not going to let any negativity bother him off the field or on the field. Okay? Yeah, but he threw an interception. Who doesn't throw interception in this league? Oh, he threw a costly one. Who hasn't thrown a costly one? Okay, those are mechanics that he needs to improve. The mobility, the accuracy, the IQ that this quarterback has is amazing. Dan Marino had I think one of those interview during the Super Bowl, and they asked him this question: "You think Tua will win the Super Bowl?" He said, "I believe Tua can win the Super Bowl." So we as fans, we have to believe. One thing we need to stop focusing is on Tariq Hill. I'm not taking down Tariq Hill because this program is actually for Tua Tagovailoa. Tariq Hill, great speed, great knowledge, off the field, different thing. I'm not going to judge him. He's a human being, okay? But you have to look at the picture here. It's 11 players on offense that makes this team. You have a great front, a great center, a great guard, a left guard, a right guard, okay? That can protect Tua. Guys, Miami Dolphins could go a long way. We have a great running back with Mostert, okay? And the guy from Texas A&M, the running back, A-Chain. I mean, what else can I tell you? Receivers, Waddle, Tariq Hill. I think it's Colcraft. Okay, we might pick one in the draft. We don't know. Um, Maybe Odell Beckham will be available for us. If he's not, that's okay. People freaks out when they say, "Oh, Odell Beckham, man, that's going to help the team." Yeah, guys, but he's an older guy. He's not the same Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham Jr. It's not the same guy. I mean, it is a help. Yeah, it's an improvement. Yes, but we make it sound that wow, one player is going to make it to the Super Bowl. No, guys, it's the 11 players in the offense. Because I'm gonna tell you, Dolphin defense looks amazing. I don't think they lost much with what's his name with Wilkins. Uh, I know a guy that I like that went to Minnesota. What's his name? Banginko. I mean, but Miami replaced those players through free agency. These grades that you give, like I say, if you put players in position to play their position and starts changing the position that they don't belong into, you'll be okay. But you got to match speed for speed. You got to match strength by strength. Okay, you can't put up an example, a linebacker on a tight end because a tight end and you got to look at height, speed. Like I say, all that comes in common, guys. And we focus like, well, what in the world? I mean, we need to have coverage. We have middle linebacker and offense, outside linebacker, pass rushers. I mean, and that's one thing that Miami has to be affected this year. Because let me tell you something, you rush the quarterback, I don't care who you are in this league, you're gonna have a problem. You won't be able to throw the ball. You don't have time to throw the ball. Tua, I think he has a quick release. You know, the only thing is Miami's gonna have to change some of their plays this year. Probably throw a little bit longer. I mean, I would like Miami sign to Claypool, but Claypool was let go. I guess he went to the new league. Then you have Chosen, which is still out there. I don't know if he hasn't been signed yet. But you got receivers that just give him the opportunity. And let's see McDaniel's. I mean, McDaniel said that he's planning to not make any calls this year in the offense and let the coach do their jobs. Let's see if that happens, if that's true. But I still believe that Tua Tagovailoa deserve, you know, excuse me, his 5-year contract, and he deserved more than that. I think he is a franchise quarterback. Everybody talk about an elite quarterback. It's funny that an elite quarterback is a quarterback that wins the Super Bowl, or he's the best quarterback. Because if you don't win the Super Bowl, you're not elite. So you're gonna tell me Dan Marino is not elite and never won a Super Bowl? Because Dan Marino had a heck of a career, and for me, not because I'm a Dolphin, I think he's still the best quarterback out there. Even though you have Brett Favre, you got, and I'm talking about the old guys now. Okay, you got Manning. That quick release, and all you hear about Dan Marino is the quick release, the quick release, the quick release. Nobody in the NFL history had that quick release. But now look at Tua, accuracy. His accuracy is amazing. His eye vision is amazing. He gets hit, he gets sacked. That's on the offensive line. That's not on Tua. Okay, yes, make smart decisions. Yes, I understand. Throw the ball when you got to throw the ball away instead of throwing interceptions. Guys, that happens. And then here we are criticizing him because he's 0-1 in the playoffs. That's all he is. Been 5 years with us, okay, through injuries, and he's only 0-1 in the playoffs. And we cannot win the big games. So why did Miami win 11 games last year? whether they good games or not good games. People, you have to understand one thing, and I talk to my fan. Every game in the NFL counts, whether you a good team or you a bad team. Because if you don't win it, you're not going anywhere. I tell my fans, let's use some common sense here, guys. We had shows that I have called, that I have talked to, that I have, even said, really, you rather be 7-11 or 11-7? Come on. Yeah, but they can beat a good team if they go to the playoffs. It doesn't matter. They made it, right? They made it to the playoff. Did they win it? No. But I could tell you this: the windows of the Dolphins are closing also. The same thing it closed to San Francisco. You have a chance opportunity to win the Super Bowl. I give all the credit to the world to Kansas City. Okay, because look at that team had no receivers. Kelsey didn't have a good year either, and they still won the Super Bowl. So imagine that. That is so impressive. But then you got a good coach, good head coach, coach's team, keep them intact, regardless of the injuries, regardless of what were going on. Because I think they led the NFL with the most drop passes than any other team in the league. You know, so we got to look at that. It's very important. But anyhow, this is going to be all for Tua Tagovailoa. Guys, in the comment section, please leave a comment. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Just give me your opinion if you have to. I know there's Tua lovers, Tua haters, like I said, but that's okay. That's part of sports. But please let me know how you feel. You feel that Tua should play his fifth year, or Tua should sign as a Dolphin, and Mike Greer should give him a contract? Because I'm gonna tell you, I don't think the Dolphins are going in the draft coming up. I think it's Friday, or the 25th. I don't think Miami's going to get a quarterback. I don't think they're looking for a quarterback. Like I tell you, they need receivers, defensive tackle, maybe a safety, maybe a cornerback. I think for me, more offensive linemen they need. That's one of the targets out there. So you let me know, guys. But thank you once again for joining me. You guys have a blessed night, and see you soon. Thank you so much.